everybody. Happy Saturday. As you can see, I'm coming live from the minivan. I'm Megan Mays, and this is Being Civil in Minnesota. I come here every Saturday at 10 to talk about family law issues and things that are impacting families in the court system. I have a family myself. I'm here cheering on the Mankato United soccer team today, so I am in Montgomery, Minnesota. I used to live in Lonsdale, so this is kind of fun to come back around where I used to live. What is not so fun is today's topic, and that is weaponizing children and using litigation abuse to weaponize the courts against individuals. Going through separations and divorces and child custody matters, it's already a lot of mental, physical, emotional, financial energy. And so minimizing the impact on children and families to negative exposure to negative behavior is something that I certainly want to see in the cases I'm involved with. Unfortunately, that is not always the case. And so I think this topic is really important, but it's a very sensitive topic. So I want to make sure that you understand that we can't always stop the behavior, but we can identify it, we can point it out, and we can ask the courts to take action. So what is weaponizing children? I think a lot of people hear the term parental alienation a lot, and that is kind of a hot button word phrase similar to narcissists. In my experience, when you're in court, you have a lot better chance of being successful when you describe the behavior. So what are some of the things that happen when the concept of parental alienation is happening? So you're using the children to gain favor, either through lies, exaggeration, pressure. And so that can really damage the relationship between the children and the other parent. Sometimes the other parent will get blamed. Oh, they're the reason why you can't play t-ball this year because, they're not willing to pay for it. But the reality is that it's because they've been involved in litigation and they just can't afford hockey or t-ball. But those things are really important to kids. And so using those activities and incentives to manipulate the children, unfortunately, is used quite often. That can sometimes lead to rejection, and not every time is the child rejecting the parent who is acting in a way that is developmentally appropriate and supportive in a parent-child relationship. Sometimes the children will reject the non-weaponizing parent because of fear from the other parent. What will they do if I don't tell them what is happening at dad's or mom's house? What will happen if I don't join in and say how crazy the other parent is, or that I really actually don't want to go spend the night over there? So that can be referred to as gatekeeping. And there's good reasons for gatekeeping, right? If there are safety concerns, but gatekeeping just to hurt the other parent, or worse, to hurt the children, is really inappropriate. And courts can really do a lot here to enhance the stability and security for the kids and the other parent. It's really hard to co-parent like this. And so courts need to be mindful of setting up parallel parenting. Not all parents are capable of co-parenting. And using children is a major red flag in indicating that a parent is not ready to be healthy and co-parent. So why do we care about, weaponizing the kids, right? Oh, kids are resilient. They'll learn. And yes, time does have a tendency to let the truth come out. Now, none of this is legal advice, and I'm certainly not a mental health professional, but there is a study called the ACEs study, and I would encourage you to look at it. It's called the Adverse Childhood Experiences. And it talks about things that impact children's development long-term in life by things that happen in their childhood. we're looking for experiences like separating parents, right? My parents separated. I have an adverse childhood experience. The more adverse childhood experiences you have, the higher the statistics were for health issues, weight issues, substance use, mental illness. And so when there are indicators of adverse childhood experiences in the relationship, in the co-parenting relationship, or in the child's life, we want to take note of those and do what we can to build that resiliency, because that is what is going to counteract these adverse childhood experiences. So separating, physical harm, mental abuse, substance abuse in the home, all these things can negatively impact these children's health long term. So I want to see more courts looking at these negative impacts and not just assuming that children are going to be resilient, because the studies are showing that the children's are being physically impacted. The other topic I wanted to talk today a little bit about before I head off to soccer is litigation abuse. And that is the misuse of the court system to harass, vilify the other party. It can be used to drain finances. It can be used to drain time, energy. And so what does that look like? Refusing to settle. Okay, but not settling doesn't necessarily mean that both parties are being unreasonable. Refusing to make any kind of compromises at all. I know that tomorrow is Mother's Day, so I hope that all the moms out there and those who are mothers in a mother capacity have a wonderful day tomorrow. But one example would be is if the parenting, we have a temporary parenting agreement and tomorrow happens to be Mother's Day, and that we didn't talk about that for the parenting plan. Well, if mom wants to see the kids for, lunch and you don't have anything going on, there's very, little reason not to support that, except for being petty. So, the reason why litigation abuse is something that needs to be taken more seriously is it's overworking, it's over scheduling in the court system, it's overwhelming it. This negatively impacts adults who, let's be real here. I mean, parenting is already really hard. So people who make it harder should not be allowed to continue to do that. And so that could be through having somebody declared what's called a frivolous litigant. And that puts restrictions on their ability to access the court system because they have misused it in the past. And I don't see as many individuals being identified as frivolous litigants as I would like, nor do I see attorney fees being awarded as often as I would like. But I am seeing some glimmers of hope. There are judges out there that are willing to step in and create that healthy buffer to minimize the negative impacts of the court system on individuals and families and kiddos. So I hope you guys are having a wonderful weekend. I got to get going to soccer. I appreciate you guys stopping by. If you have questions, go ahead and post them on the video. If you have questions for next week, go ahead and post them on the Facebook group, Being Civil in Minnesota, and subscribe to this channel so that you can see the episodes live Saturdays at 10. All right, take care.